you can't be either Neo or Agent Smith. Not only do you need your ammo, but that ammo is kind of pointless if you don't have the proper tools to use it with. So right now would actually be an excellent time to go to your local gun shops or your local Rule King. Head to that gun barn and start investing in some firearms and plenty of bullets. Right here is my Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 2. Yeah, that sight's right on the money. So, tell you what, truthers, and my fellow Americans.
Go tell that long-time liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler again with a backbite. Tell them the God. Tell them the God. Cut them down. Goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on a bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the angels. He called my name, my heart stood still. John, do my will. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. You may throw your rock and hide your hand, working in the dark against a fellow man. But as sure as God made black or white, what's down in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down.
Welcome, everybody, to the Truther Odyssey. Because when the fog clears, only the shadows remain. I am not an agent to the right or the left. I am a disciple of the truth, and the truth shall set you free. I don't chase the headlines, I decode them. This is the Truther Odyssey, where we seek the truth in a world full of disinformation and indoctrination. We are live for a special morning edition on Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Facebook, and this is all brought to you by Rumble Studios. And I appreciate Rumble. You know, I mentioned in our last couple of live streams that after it seems like outside interference was getting into the Rumble studio and deactivating, disabling my mics and my mic and camera, and they've been really helpful, which tells me that Rumble is legit, folks. And I thank Rumble for their help. And this platform of Rumble Studio, I think, is really more convenient with creation of content. Like how you see in the bottom corner the American flag with the words Truth or Odyssey and the Rumble logo, which that is me saying I love Rumble. And I appreciate them allowing me to come on here and express myself. Now, if you're watching this content, say on YouTube, on Facebook, it's powered by Rumble Studios. But you know, a lot of you guys a lot of times don't get the full live stream because we hop over the Rumble. There's things, subject matters that eventually end the stream. I don't trust those platforms. Matter of fact, every live stream we have done since using Rumble Studio on YouTube has been flagged and will not be monetized. But all of them are monetized on Rumble. So if you want to help people out like me who aren't liars, aren't trying to sway you one way or the other except for with the gospel, that's the only thing I want you to do and embrace is the gospel. You need the Rumble app. Rumble is on a mission to keep the internet free and open. Rumble.com empowers creators like moi to express ourselves freely and to share our genuine content. By fighting government and big tech censorship, Rumble encourages healthy debate and entertains users, which is what I do. I invite you to further join this journey by downloading the Rumble mobile app for Android and iOS and become part of a growing community that values freedom and authentic expression. Click on the link to download the Rumble app today, guys. I mean, look at all the content on YouTube where they have to watch what they say. They have to rewrite the programming of their vocabulary just to be monetized. They can't say, reading a headline that is talking about sexual assault, if you say those words, which I just said those words through Rumble Studio on YouTube, so not monetized, but I am on Rumble. And the fact that content creators are complying, bending their knees to YouTube guidelines is pathetic. Pathetic. Not the Truth or Odyssey, not Rumble. This is free speech. If I'm reading an article and it has the words sexual assault, I should not have to rewrite my programming of vocabulary to appease softies, people who can't handle the truth. It makes no sense. You guys need to get on Rumble. And I think more creators who lean either way should come to Rumble, so that Rumble isn't an echo chamber of one school of thought. If people were to jump ship from YouTube to Rumble, I think humanity would probably be in a slightly better place. That felt nice. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you for allowing me to put content on your platform. Thank you for not demonetizing me because of my vocabulary. Thank you for not deleting my content, for not taking me down. Rumble is a blessing to the Truther Odyssey. So I ask my Lord and Savior to bless Rumble. Help them stay true in the fight for free speech and against censorship. Any organization that makes you feel like you have to walk on eggshells because of what might come out of your mouth is anti-America. They're anti our constitutional rights. Not right. Any company that operates in the United States border that oppresses free speech needs to be kicked out of the United States of America. And I got a list. I got some, man, there's one at the top of my list right now. It's got to go. It's got to go. They push ESG, environmental social governance score, in their orientation. Their staff is afraid of being able to say anything in fear that they will be fired over their speech. Staff has been written up talking about just going to a gun range and shooting. In America. But it's not an American company. It's a German company. Yeah, I tipped James O'Keefe off about this company. Whether he gets into it or not, I don't know. I hope he does. James O'Keefe, I sent you the name of that company on Twitter, so I hope you find it and you get some of your people inside dilly around in their orientation process with one of them hidden cameras. And when that comes out, I can probably say, that's them right there. That's who I've been talking about. Guys, more and more stuff on this whole Epstein cover-up is happening, and it's getting worse. I mean, was it last night's live stream we were talking about the federal judge in New York denying the unsealing of the grand jury testimonies, which I told you that was going to happen. Now, Mike Johnson yesterday says, and it was supposed to start today, but they started it yesterday. Decided to go jumpstart it a day earlier, doing so. The House is going to a recess, so now they don't have to vote on the releasing of the Epstein files and interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell. And we're going to look at how just a week or so ago he was on with Benny Johnson saying he was for transparency and we need to get to the bottom of this. And woo, 180, his song and dance has completely changed. Also, got an article from Fox News. Pam Bondi cancels appearance at anti-trafficking summit over medical issues. I'm sorry to miss all of my CPAC friends today, Bondi said in a statement that was published today. We will get into that as well. All right. There's a lot to talk about with this whole Epstein cover up. It's getting worse and worse. It is obvious that the MAGA Republican Party, which is starting to remind me of the War on Terror Republican and name only Republican Party, the GOP, it is not looking good. I am going to go to try to find Benny Johnson's channel on Rumble to find his interview with Mike Johnson. You find him real quick. There he is. And he is pretty much barely even talking about uh, the Epstein cover up now. He's now on the whole taking the bait of the distraction and the whole Russiagate thing going on. Owen Schroyer has not taken that bait. Owen Schroyer is on the warpath. Hmm. Let me see real quick. Yeah, here we go. We'll just let me get this ready for you guys.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. Pennsylvania Senator David McCormick is hosting this inaugural summit at Carnegie Mellon University today. McCormick says he wants his state to lead the next revolution in energy, tech, and AI. He and the president are expected to announce $70 billion in investments. And per Axios, these investments include new data centers, power and grid infrastructure, and AI training programs. CEOs from ExxonMobil, BlackRock, Amazon Web Services, among several others, are set to attend. President Trump has prioritized winning the AI race against China. In January, he announced Project Stargate, a $100 billion venture between OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle to build data centers in the U.S. Just yesterday, the Defense Department said it's granting contract awards of up to $200 million for AI development at Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. The huge amount of data processing for AI requires a lot of energy, and President Trump is looking to remove regulatory obstacles to energy production to increase capacity.
We need to win the battle for AI innovation in America, and Pennsylvania is at the center of it. And I told the president this is his energy dominance, technology leadership policies in action, and it's going to bring thousands, tens of thousands of jobs to working families across Pennsylvania, which is what he promised, and it's what I promised.
Also on Monday, NVIDIA announced it can start selling chips to China again. The company was at one point facing billions of dollars in charges after the U.S. imposed tough restrictions on chip sales to China.
Where do you live?
In the city.
Do you have a house?
Apartment.
On a rent?
Rent.
What do you do for a living?
Lots of things.
Where's your office?
I don't have one.
How come?
I don't need one.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Are you my dad's brother?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
38.
I'm your dad's brother, all right.
You have much more hair on your nose than my dad.
How nice of you to notice.
I'm a kid. That's my job.
Okay. My favorite colds are the colds that roast me. So please, ladies and gentlemen, roast me. We are going and diving deep into the chat today in the United States Capitol building, where we are broadcasting live from right now. We'll be using your questions and we'll be consulting George Washington, whose bust sits right behind me in this ornate and beautiful room, with Speaker Mike Johnson, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, August Pfluger, James Comer, and a whole ton of other incredible members of Congress who will be joining us. Eric Schmidt and Mike Lee among them, the great Tim Burchett. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a rowdy show, and it's going to be a show.
Here we go. Come on. Come on, Betsy.
Speaker of the House, Speaker Mike Johnson, who is here right now. And welcome to the stream, Mr. Speaker. Welcome. This is great. What a fantastic room. There is a shout out to Nancy Pelosi up there, a big photo of San Francisco. So, yeah.
Nice digs in either way.
Congratulations on a historic passage of the big, beautiful bill. Why don't we start with that?
Thank you. A big thing.
I know it was an answer to prayer, quite literal prayer, I think.
It was.
Is that the way it was told to me?
It was up to the last hours of that. And a lot of prayer and patience and teamwork. I mean, no one can take credit for it individually. It was truly a team effort. Lombardi said, I think it was Vince Lombardi said, victory loves preparation. We did a lot of preparation, a lot of work. I mean, a year and a half went into that. But we delivered it, and we'll be able to share that with the people for the next year and a half before that midterm election.
There is so much disinformation about it out there, but I just want to give an opportunity for you to thank Hakeem Jeffries for calling it a deportation machine on steroids,
Yeah.
Which was one of the best marketing. I mean, did you pay him? I don't know how it worked, right? Like, Did you get him tickets to the LSU game?
Yeah.
It's really not, that was an incredible marketing from Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem has given us a lot of gifts. The 8.5 hour filibuster effort was an abject failure. We have a highlight reel of people falling asleep behind them, and I try to get up and be succinct. I mean, Reagan said no speech should be longer than 20 minutes. I just want you, for the record, mine was about 11 minutes in length, but we had lots of ovations in the middle of it. So It went 23 minutes. They keep telling me that, but
The binder. You brought the binder.
the binder.
Yes, okay, that's right.
It takes
That
a
was
lot
good
longer.
prop.
As I said on the floor, it takes a lot longer to build a lie than it does to tell the simple truth. And we have the truth on our side.
Yes. Your favorite elements of the bill, maybe you could just truncate them for us.
There's so much, but what we did was we wrapped the entire America First agenda into one piece of legislation. And the reason we did that, people have to remember why the emphasis on reconciliation. It's the only way around the necessity of getting 60 votes in the Senate to pass our agenda. We're never going to get Schumer and the Democrats to go along. And they have a 53 vote margin in the Senate, at 53 vote majority. And so we have 3 votes to give in the Senate, 3 in the House. So we had to put it all together. There had to be something for everybody to get them all there, but there really is. And so in the final result, you get not only the historic tax savings, the largest tax cut in U.S. history, we also have the largest amount of savings ever in any piece of legislation in the history of legislatures on the planet Earth. Okay, it's at $1.5+ trillion in savings, drop in the bucket, but a very important turn on the wheel of that aircraft carrier that is the U.S. economy. We have many more steps ahead of us. But in the bill is American energy dominance, the secure border, the wall will finally be finished and built.
Yes.
I mean, all the basic things that we promised.
The ICE funding is hugely popular with this audience.
Of course, because it's a top priority, and it was of the American people in the election, largely why we won. But we have regulatory reform. I mean, we everything in there, and we're making the first changes to the welfare state in generations, and it's going to preserve the programs. Those safety nets are meant for a small population of people, the elderly, disabled, young pregnant women who are single, but it's been abused. And when they expanded Obamacare into the expansions, everybody got on the wagon, all these young, able-bodied young men who don't have dependents riding the wagon. So you know what? We put work requirements in. And I can sell that in any town hall, in any district, and anywhere in America. It's the right thing to do.
You saying the town halls. Do you remember the Hakeem Jeffries video where it's like, the American people are behind us, and he's standing in an empty field?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Like, do you like ask him to do these things? Like,
No. Look, the Democrat Party is in a real bind. They don't have a leader. They don't have a platform, no principles they can articulate. They're about to make a Marxist the governor of the.
How about the Republican Party now? Look at what you guys have made of that. Two birds of the same wing, two wings of the same bird. Yeah, I messed that up big time, didn't I? Epic fail.
The mayor of New York City.
yeah, that's right. He's a communist.
And I feel so sorry for my Republican friends in New York City, but it's great for us.
Yeah.
And that guy, now they're recruiting open, avowed Marxists to challenge Hakeem and others in the party. I mean, they've got a real problem. Not a good time to be a Democrat.
So your team sent along one piece of data, and then we're going to take questions from the audience. Your team sent along one piece of data that I wanted to cover here, which was Republican fundraising numbers are at historic highs right now. However, there's a huge conversation about this very thin majority, and how we're going to keep it. A lot of news being made right now about what that strategy is. Can you give me that strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. In a nutshell, there's a couple of reasons for hope. First, we have to defy history. It's only twice in the last 90 years that a sitting president has picked up seats for his party in that first 2-year cycle, that midterm election. But we're going to defy history. This is the group that does it. A couple of reasons for that. Real quick summary. We truly did experience a demographic shift in the last election cycle. So we have a record number, Hispanic and Latino voters, Black voters, union workers, Jewish voters. These people are going to stay with us because we're delivering on our promises, and they will feel that before the election. I mean, this is nation-shaping kind of stuff. And it just so happens, I think it's providential, that we have the most favorable election map that we've had in decades. What I mean by that is, as we're sitting here, there are 13 House Democrats sitting in districts that Trump won. 21 of them are sitting in districts he came within 5 points of winning. There's only 3 House Republicans sitting in Kamala Harris districts. So we have a totally offensive opportunity to go out and flip blue seats to red. We're in the candidate recruitment phase right now. We got some all-star candidates. The president's all in. He's helping me on that. And we're excited, man. I'm bullish on the midterms. I'm convinced we're going to grow the majority.
The majority was grown, and this election was won by young people. And here's our first audience question here from Golden Age 007. Speaker Johnson, what is being done to promote fatherhood and ensure that fathers have stronger fights and the presence of their
the country?
Like on inauguration day.
Oh, you're in.
I know you were busy that
You're
day.
it. Yeah.
But like, I just had a child inauguration. Do I apply? Do I qualify?
All this starts in January of this year. It's retroactive.
January
So
20th.
yeah, man. You're in. Yeah. And invest for the foundation of first. We're working every day, grinding it out to codify the president's executive actions. In the big, beautiful bill, there's over 30 of those included in the legislation. And that was really important. We wanted to get as many of them as we could into the reconciliation package because we knew that was actually a lawmaking exercise. It's now signed into law. So these things are now permanent, they're codified. We've passed over 50 of them already through the House. We'll continue to do more every week. They're going to hit a buzzsaw, many of these in the Senate, because you're not going to, so you can attach one to each fiscal.
And we all saw what an extremist Elmo is over the last couple of days.
Well, they weaponized Elmo, okay, is long overdue. We're not going to fund transgender operas in Peru anymore. Congress didn't know that was happening. Now that we do, we can't stand for it. So we have to claw that funding back. This is the first of many, I hope, rescission packages. We need the Senate to do their job.
Fantastic. Here we go. Something that is near and dear to the hearts of, obviously, this movement and this channel. What happened to the January 6th video releases? Can you give us an update? Were they completed?
Yes, they've all been released. They're all out there.
All videos are released.
There may be like 100 hours. There was the equivalent of like 5 years of videotaping. It was 40,000 hours or something. There's a small subset that the Senate started a long time to upload.
This is sort of on the heels of something else that a lot of people are asking questions about. And because we've been lied to by our federal government for so long, I feel like there's some type of like there's a pain point, right? And a pressure cooker that gets heated up on issues like the Epstein issue, right? And obviously that's something that's taken over a lot of the online dialogue. I have a question here about it that concerns either testifying or testimony for Ghislaine Maxwell potentially before Congress, or if you would support members like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Anna Paulina Luna on the release of subpoenaing the Epstein documents from the DOJ, whether you would support either of those.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Marjorie or Anna about that specific subject, but I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well, and I trust him. I mean, he put together a team of his choosing, and they're doing a great job. It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it. I mean, the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And you know, Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I mean, I think she's done a good job. We need the DOJ focusing on the major priorities. So let's get this thing resolved so that they can deal with violent crime and public safety and election integrity and going after Act Blue and the things that the president is most concerned about, as we are. So I'm anxious to get this behind us.
Yeah, and I can see that because there's so many victories and so many wins that are happening.
We just had the.
Yeah, you can see here's the deal, folks. You heard what Mike Johnson said. He said, we need the DOJ to release this so they can move on and focus on other things. What is bigger than taking down what could be the largest human trafficking ring of minors? Like, that would be the most heroic thing one could do. Bringing down this cabal. But it seems like anybody from the boomers and Generation X and the higher up elite circles, the upper echelons, the 1%ers, all have ties to Jeffrey Epstein. the rhetoric that we keep hearing from Trump and the right is the Democrats, the Democrats, the Democrats. Not all Democrats are saying release the files. You don't hear Bill and Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama say, or Joe Biden say, release the files. You don't hear Bill Gates say, release the file. You don't hear Prince Andrew say, release the files. The only people in office, and it's a minority in both parties, saying release the files were all elected to office after Jeffrey Epstein's death. Anybody right now, you think Marjorie Taylor Greene, anybody in the conservative movement that is gung-ho on truly finding out what's going on with the Epstein, and he's just the face of this cabal. He's just the face of this human trafficking operation because he was the one that got caught. I don't even think he was the top dog of the operation. Wes Lexner, who, if I recall, is the man that created Victoria's Secret. I think he has a big part in this. I think CIA, MI6, Mossad are implicated. The only ones saying release the files were all elected after Epstein's death. The new guard is calling for release the files. Let me look something up. Yeah, so Tim Burchett was elected January 3rd, 2019. So just months, the same year Epstein died, is when he first went to office. Marjorie Taylor Greene got into office after 2020. Yeah. 2021 is when she went in office. So anybody who's never had any dealings with Epstein is speaking out. Anybody who has had dealings with Epstein hasn't said a word or is saying, don't talk about it. Look the other way. There's nothing to see here, folks. It's a hoax. brought on by the Democrats. That we pushed on you for years. Let me pull something up for you. Here's the weird thing. This is such a fucking hypocrisy. Such a hypocrisy. On X last night, Donald Trump Jr. tweeted this right here. I wonder why an Obama appointed judge would do such things. This is him quoting a Charlie Kirk tweet. President Donald Trump's DOJ moved to release valuable Epstein information, and a federal judge is blocking their pursuit of transparency. I wonder why an Obama appointed judge would do such. What is it? If an Obama appointed judge is trying to block the release, then it can't be a hoax or tampered with by the Democrats. I wonder why your dad was told he was in the Epstein files back in May, but told the public last week he wasn't. Because she's Jewish. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's about right. This is pretty fucking funny right there. Yep. Yep. Looking like good friends right there. Yep, time to pass Rep. Tom Massey's Epstein Transparency Act. That's so fucking funny. Precious. Let me just say, I'm not an Obama guy either. He's a fucking scumbag. All he was 8 more years of the Bush administration that pushed some crazy shit. It was the birthplace. He is the godfather of wokeness. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is definitely going to get me demonetized. Demonetized on YouTube. This show's already demonetized on YouTube, which does not hurt my feelings. I don't want your fucking money anyways. We're going to listen to a song real quick. Let me get this song pulled up so we can jam out together. Oh, well, that's my headset up. I want this thing to get loud for me. This is Fozzie's Fall in Line.
They want me to act like them, they want me to look like them, they want me to think like them, better to just blend in, but I won't fall in line. Assimilated in a world infected. Am I the only one who's disconnected? I tried to play along, but they don't care at all. I'm just a number with a name who's cracking. And so I face what comes of it. I know there might be violence. I think we all know how this ends. And this ends. They want me to act like them. They want me to look like them. They want me to think like them. Better just blend in, but I won't fall in line this time. Where everything's black and white and everyone wins surprise. No matter how much you shine, keep it all inside. But I won't fall. I won't fall in line this time. You can feel the pressure as they measure everything that you do. And if they catch you being different, then you probably do. Go on like those you still their eyes on you, watching every move. They want me to act like them. They want me to look like them. They want me to think like them. Better just blend in, but I won't fall in line this time. Where everything's black and white and everyone wins surprise. No matter how much you shine, keep it all inside. But I won't fall. I won't fall in line this time. All you wanted was a way out. They push and pull until you break down. They want your loyalty to take your dignity. You think your mind is fake, we'll meet the enemy. Once you get into them, they'll cut you wide open. Follow your heart, be who you are. Take a look like you think like you feel like you manage to make it, but I'll never know. I won't fall in line this time. Where everything's black and white and everyone is surprised. No matter how much you
Fuck yeah. I won't fall in line. Fucking love that song. That was so good. I won't fall in line. Damn, the timing. Can't remember. The song was released 2 weeks ago. Like, the timing of this song is amazing. Yeah, I had commented on it. Yeah. The timing of this song is crazy. FYI, I won't fall in line, all caps. Wow. That was a good song. I kind of want to listen to it again. Oh, wow. Think about how many of the conservative content creators, which I see myself as a conservative, but man, how both sides have gotten very cult-like. How easily a lot of people have decided to look the other way when it comes to this cover-up. So easily distracted. Yeah, here's a tweet 11 minutes ago from Steve Deace, who is somebody I have a lot of respect for. No more, which I've had disagreements with him, but he's a role model. Poor guy and pushing his late 30s. Steve Deace is a role model. No more subcommittees. No more task forces. No more salacious talking points for engagement grips. Either treat the deep state with the same ruthlessness being shown to the global trade markets, or risk losing all the ground with young men we gained in the last election. Jeffrey Epstein is the deep state. This human trafficking operation is the deep state. Jared Kushner is the deep state. George Soros, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Pfizer, Anthony Fauci, George H.W. and George W. Bush, Jeb Bush, the McCains, Lindsey Graham, are the deep state. Am I missing anything? Was it Owen Shore yesterday talking about the new Special Force unit? Special Strike Force. Something like that. I wonder if I can find that real quick. Special Strike Force. Sounds like a Chuck Norris movie. I fucking love Chuck Norris movies. Ooh. Go here. So the judge name is Judge Robin Rosenberg. So yeah, that's that is a very Jewish sounding name. Oh. Is this it? Okay. Okay. See if this is it. Here we go. Let's watch this together, guys. I mean, you've probably seen it already, obviously. But we're going to listen to Mike Johnson from yesterday. Enlarge it for you.
Everybody, got a few thoughts for you as we work through today.
Oh, come on.
Yesterday, some of you may have seen a false headline in the New York Times, and the headline was terribly misleading. It said House Republicans are, quote, adjourning until September to avoid a vote on releasing Epstein materials. I just want you to know, and everybody here knows, that's an outright lie. It's not true. And they were forced to modify their headline and update it today. The reason is, we all know that's the initial lie travels much faster than the truth, and so we're making sure that people know what is actually going on here. I think every single one of your publications have known that the published schedule of Congress was decided in December of 2024, and it's been published ever since. We are fulfilling the calendar. We're working. We'll be working tomorrow. There have been votes every day this week. We have 9 or 10 committees working through markups this week, many tomorrow. Congress is doing its work. No one is adjourning early. We have an August district work period that is very important to the function of Congress, that has been recognized for all of memory of this institution, and that is what everyone will be doing. The Times was forced to change the headline because it was completely false. No one in Congress is blocking Epstein documents. No one in Congress is doing that. What we're doing here, Republicans are preventing Democrats from making a mockery of the Rules Committee process because we refuse to engage in their political charade. That is what is happening and nothing more. The way Democrats have tried to weaponize this issue is absolutely shameless. And I just want to say this. Democrats said nothing and did nothing, absolutely nothing, about bringing transparency for the entire 4 years of the Biden presidency. But now, all of a sudden, they want the American people to believe that they actually care. Their actions belie their words. We will not be lectured on transparency by the same party that orchestrated one of the most shameless, dangerous political cover-ups in the history of the United States. And that was President Biden's obvious mental decline. House Republicans stand for maximum transparency and truth. We always have and we always will. We're in lockstep with President Trump and his administration on this issue. We are pushing for the release of all credible information to be released with regard to the Epstein matter. I would note also that there are real issues, legal issues, with the Kana resolution, with the Massey resolution. Kanas has no protection whatsoever for the victims of these horrible, unspeakable sex crimes, and Massey's doesn't go far enough. Additionally, the president has directed the Department of Justice to pursue the release of grand jury information, and that is happening as we speak. In fact, the court is processing the DOJ's request for grand jury materials as we are standing here right now. That's a very important step. We'll evaluate any necessary measures that Congress needs to undertake when that process is completed. I'm convinced the administration is thoroughly reviewing all materials and working to release all credible information while also providing protection for victims. And I've been very clear and on the record many times that we have an obligation to do that, a legal obligation and a moral obligation to protect the people who have been the victims of these unspeakable crimes so that their names are not dragged through the mud. That's a fine needle to thread, and I'm convinced.
How long have the victims gone without true justice? A lot of, all right, I won't say a lot. Some of them have been taken off the board. What's her name? Junefree Jeffries, the woman that was in the picture with Prince Andrew, supposedly committed suicide. Another one for the Clinton body count. This whole suppressing this isn't to protect the victims. They're protecting the perpetrators, which isn't just Jeffrey Epstein. Not only was he trafficking women, but women were being trafficked to him, who trafficked them to him. Who did he traffic women to? Johnny Maxwell is in prison with a 20-year sentence for human trafficking to no one. No one was receiving these services of human trafficking. She was recruiting, grooming underage girls, offering them jobs to give massages. Who in the right mind thinks it's a good idea to have underage girls or even boys working for a living giving massages? So they're still in high school. They don't even have a diploma. Hey, you want to fly around the world giving massages? This is not about protecting the victims.
Convinced that the people who are in charge with this are doing it the right way, judiciously. The Trump administration is working through the court to unseal those documents. Most of the Epstein files are under court order and sealed, so you have to go through that route to do it. All that credible information needs to come out, but they deserve the space to do that in the way that it is supposed to be done, and they are. A thorough, judicious, meticulous review to truly protect innocent people who suffered. In the meantime, on a much brighter note,
which means nothing is going to happen, as we now know.
House Republicans are looking forward to going back to their districts. They have a lot to be proud of and a lot of good news to share back home. It's just 6 months of this administration and this Congress. We work closely with President Trump. We've delivered on the mandate from the American people. We have the safest border now in the history of the country. Inflation is cooling. We passed one of the most consequential pieces of legislation in the history of this institution, the One Big Beautiful Bill. And what that did, as you know, was it secured the largest tax cut for American workers, the largest single investment in border security and national defense in generations, the largest reduction in spending in the history of any government on planet Earth, and much more. President Trump is making historic trade deals to balance the playing field and bring trillions of dollars of investment into America. As a side note, I will tell you, I was in the Oval Office last night for the historic moment where he made the trade deal with Japan. It was really something to see. I'll write a book about it one day. The Art of the Deal. It was a masterclass. We passed over 250 bills. We voted to codify 50 of President Trump's executive actions, and we're just getting started. He has signed into law so far important legislation like the Lake and Riley Act, the Halt Fentanyl Act, the Take It Down Act, the Genius Act, and of course the $9 billion rescissions package.
Which the Genius Act has been passed. Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling it out for what it is. It is centralized banking digital currency, CBDCs. I think right now would be a good sign for people on YouTube and Facebook, whether you're watching it live. And FYI, guys on Facebook, any of you who have watched the live streams, which you're not watching it live, nobody's watching this live on Facebook and YouTube. Most of my live viewers are coming from Rumble or locals. So if you guys do watch this on YouTube, on Facebook, this is your exit ramp. You need to come to Rumble. Rumble empowers creators like me to express ourselves freely and share genuine content. By fighting government and big tech censorship, Rumble encourages healthy debate and entertains users. I invite you to further join this journey by downloading the Rumble mobile app for Android and iOS and become part of a growing community that values freedom and authentic expression. So, for you on Facebook and YouTube and Facebook, you only get to re-watch those on Facebook for a limited time. I have been notified when I came back to making content during the strikes on Iran, which that was a live stream, my first multi-platform live stream. Facebook is deleting those videos after a certain amount of time. So you only have so much time to enjoy those on Facebook because Facebook's taking my shit down again. No surprise. So you need to come to Rumble, which for you guys is ending in 3, 2, 1.